Hey y'all, welcome back to my channel. I am so glad that you stopped by. Today I'm going to be talking about a very important topic when it comes to gardening, and especially if you're a new gardener. I want you to adopt this concept right now this summer in your garden. I'm going to be talking about companion planting, what it is, why you should do it, and I'm going to give you some tips of 3 things that I think you should have in your summer garden. And so before we start this video, I want to just say welcome to all the new people that are here. I'm so glad that you decided to stop by and or subscribe to this channel. If you have not subscribed, go ahead and hit the subscribe button in faith that you're going to love this content and you're going to want to be a part of this community. And for those that have been here over and over again, I thank you very, very much. I am in Tennessee in Zone 7B, and right now I'm in the back of my house, which is where my garden started. So this is always going to be a very special place to me because 5 years ago is where I knelt down and planted my first garden in these raised beds behind me. Now, over the last 5 years, I have grown and I'm continuing to grow. But on this channel, I try to teach, inspire, and motivate you to grow food. And I especially have a heart for the beginner because I remember what it was like starting out and had no clue what to do, and it was hard for me to find the answers that I needed in the way that I could learn and receive it. So this is a safe place. And before we start talking about companion planting, I want to also shout out and talk about the GREENSTALK sale that is happening right now at the time of this video. They're having a sale on their 7-tier leaf planter as low as $119. You can use my code LFF10 for an extra $10 off. I want to show you what my GREENSTALKs are looking like. And if you're new to GREENSTALK, it is a vertical gardening system. It is great for a beginner gardener. It is great for a seasoned gardener. It's great for a veteran gardener. It's great for anybody who wants to grow some food. But especially if you have limited space, I cannot say enough great things about using this to grow a ton of food. So when it comes to the GREENSTALK sale that's going on right now, the Easter sale will be live until April the 22nd. The 7-tier is on sale for as low as $119. Now, I know some of you are waiting for the Mother's Day sale, right? I can tell you right now, I know some of you are waiting for the Mother's Day sale. I can tell you right now, the 7-tier will not be on sale at the Mother's Day sale. It will not be on sale. And so if you've been wanting a 7-tier, this is the time to get it. Do not wait until the Mother's Day sale to grab a 7-tier, okay? So the 7-tier sale is going on now until the 22nd. Use my code LFF10 for an extra $10 off. Now, let's go take a look and see what's going on in my GREENSTALKs. And then I'm going to show you how I use companion planting. And I'm going to break it down for you and explain companion planting. So simple and so easy. And I'm going to tell you about the rule of 3s that I use when it comes to companion planting. But let me show you my GREENSTALKs and how they're coming along so far. And then we've almost planted them all out, except I still got a few open spots. So let's go over to the GREENSTALKs and let me show you what's going on. So you can see I have 3 GREENSTALKs. These 2 are the evergreen, and then this is the lilac. This right here is the original, and then this is the leaf planter. So quick, in case this is your first time, the original has pockets that are 10 inches deep. The leaf planter, I think the pockets are 7 inches deep. So in the leaf planter, you get 42 pockets, it's 7 tiers. In the original, you get 5 tiers, 30 pockets. So this is the one that is on sale. It is perfect. When I say perfect, perfect for growing herbs, veggies, lettuce, your leafy greens, your kale, your cilantro, your parsley, your spinach, all of the things. Now for the summer, again, you can see I have quite a bit. Let me bring you a little bit closer so that you can see all the stuff that we have going on in the leaf planter. Okay, so up at the top, I have some onions on this top tier. And then here you can see I have dill in the planter. Right here, I have some oregano, if you can see that. Right here is some parsley. I have sage right there. I have lettuce coming out right there. Down on this tier, that is lavender right here. More parsley. I have a lemon balm down at the bottom. You can see that there. I also have some purple basil that I popped right here. Thyme. So you can see it is pretty much all full. It is coming together. Most of these items have only been in here probably a good 2 to 3 weeks. And then I just started popping in some other items now that the sun is coming out and spring acts like she wants to stick around, that she's not gonna go hide. So that's what we have going on here. I also want to show you, this is a new thing that came out, I want to say on the last sale. This is another trellis support system. They have this support system right here that you can see on the outside. This is a bigger trellis system. So if you're growing something, like I said, in the original with the deep pockets, you can do tomatoes, you can do peppers, and then it kind of rests up against this. This right here trellis system is a little bit, it just sticks in and out. You can see that. It comes in packs of 3s. You can just stick this in, and then again, the crop can like lay up against it. So I have 2 originals and then 1 leaf. But let's talk about companion planting and what it is, and I'll show you where I've done some companion planting in my GREENSTALK. So going back to the nasturtiums, it also, when I say trap crop, it is not only going to repel pests that are bad or draw those to it, it also is going to draw what we call beneficial insects to the garden. So there are insects that are not just all bad, they're actually beneficial, and you want them in your garden because they may be getting rid of something else. So for example, when you have a lot of aphids, a lot of people will buy or purchase ladybugs and release them to get rid of the aphids. So again, nasturtiums will bring in the beneficial insects into your garden. Okay, so let's talk about another flower that is good when it comes to companion planting. So let's talk about another flower that's good when it comes to companion planting is calendula. Calendula is a good one, and then also sweet alyssum. So sweet alyssum is more of a cool season variety. Calendula is cool season to, warm season, but those are other good ones that are good. Other flowers that I use are zinnias. Now, zinnias is more going to bring pollinators to your garden. You want pollinators. You want the bees to come and to pollinate so that you have more food and more food production. So when it comes to planting your garden, I do want you to focus on what your family eats and planting the good vegetables that you want to eat, but don't stop there. Have companions in your garden. Get in the practice of 3s, a vegetable, a flower, and an herb. Okay, so I've given you 4 flowers: calendula, nasturtium, marigold, and sweet alyssum. And then a 5th one is, in terms of zinnias, will bring in the pollinators. When it comes to herbs, basil is a great one. Sage is another good one. Lavender is a good one. And all of those are relatively easy to grow. Okay, so if you have not planned on having those things, and maybe you haven't started seeds, go to your local nursery and buy and pick up a couple of those herbs and a couple of those flowers to add to your garden. If you can do nothing else, marigolds are easy to find. You can find them at Home Depot, Tractor Supply. Any nursery is going to have usually a flat of marigolds that you can buy. And so if that's all you can do, then just put marigolds in every bed that you have. Now, I know that some of you are more into aesthetics than others. So you're like, okay, now how am I going to do this? Because I don't really want that flower by my tomato, or whatever the case may be. So one of the tricks that I normally do is that I will tuck a flower in the corners of my bed, a flower or an herb. That is usually where I put my companion plants. I usually do not put them in the center because I'm one of those people, right? I like for things to look a certain way. And when it comes to nasturtiums, they are trailing crops. So if you put it in the corner of your raised bed, then it can kind of vine over the edge and be more out of the way instead of in the bed when it comes to talking about your space. So let's take a look again at my GREENSTALK, and let me show you some of the herbs and flowers that I have in there to kind of just show you this is what I practice each and every time that I plant any garden space. So we didn't look at this GREENSTALK here. This is the one that's on the far right. So again, I have 2 rows of onions here, and then this row is empty. We need to finish planting that out. But you can see here, I have a marigold. These are marigolds that I grew from seed. And then I have lettuce right beside it. And then I have a pepper here. So you can see in terms of 3s, I got my pepper, I got my marigold, and then down here I have purple basil. So you can see, and again, it doesn't have to be just like this as long as they're in here somewhere. But that is a great example of companion planting. And so in this GREENSTALK, it'll be full with different flowers, vegetables, and herbs. So here I have a tomato. Down here I have a coleus. This right here is a flower that's a coleus. And then right beside it, I have a deal. Now, let's go over to this raised bed here. So this raised bed has my garlic on the right-hand side. This is one of my beds, and this was like the last of the garlic I had, so I only had enough for one row. And so this garlic has been in here since October. I will be harvesting that probably the last week of May, first week of June. But same concept. I have a celosia, that's a flower right there. Then I have celery right here, and then I have marigold, calendula, celery. Back there in the back, a marigold, and then all the way back there is chamomile. So you can see in every space, I'm adding diversity. I'm not just doing one crop. I am doing a crop, at least a flower, a vegetable, and an herb in every gardening space. And so if you have not been doing that, I want you to try that in your summer garden. And again, start with wherever you are. And then if you, are only able to get like maybe one, then you know that next year, then you can start your own seeds and grow more of those herbs and flowers. Now, I know that some people may have like an herb garden, or they may have a flower garden. And I have those things too, right? I have in my high tunnel, I have a space that's just my, in one of the circular raised beds, I have sage and oregano. So it's just herbs in that bed, right? And then I also use one of my raised beds in the summer to be what I call a pollinator patch. It'll be full of flowers. But in every other space, all the way around it, I have the combination of the threes. So companion planting is so beneficial for your garden. I want to make sure if you have any questions, put them down below. Now, in the upcoming video, I'm going to talk about interplanting, which is different than companion planting. But companion planting is one of the key things. To me, interplanting can be a little bit more of an advanced skill, but companion planting, everybody can do. So if you have questions about companion planting, put them down below. Okay, guys, I hope that this topic was helpful. I hope that you can see my green stalks. We moving and shaking. We are moving and shaking. Make sure you get your 7-tier if you want one during the sale. Do not wait for the Mother's Day sale. But thank you guys so much for joining me. Put your questions down below of whatever questions you have when it comes to companion planting. And remember, gardening is a journey. Let's grow together. I'll see you next time, friend.